Hello, bienvenidos. As you guys can see from the title, today we are doing our palette ranking of February's month. And share with you guys, I have, I think, 11 palettes in here, all different sizes, all different color stories, but as you guys know, in February, it was all about the red burgundies kind of colors, and I'm so excited to share with you guys the fun new palettes that I pulled out of my collection that I've never used or that I've wanted to use and just never got around to using them. So if you're interested to see this ranking of all the palettes I used in February, stay tuned. Okay, so these are in the least favorite that I have all the way to my favorite one that I've been using for the last 20 some days. If you are not aware, this year I am trying to pull out palettes that I have not been using or are still brand new in my collection that I just haven't had the time to either use, have forgotten about, to still see if I want to keep them in my collection. I've been doing a lot of different looks with these palettes, and I also incorporate them in any project pans that I have as far as my pan those eyeshadows, deca panning, anything that could involve these palettes. I have incorporated them with the project pan item. So I'm excited because I've gotten a little bit more taste of these palettes, and I'm curious to see what you guys think about them. Now, I also want to mention that even though there are ones that are not my favorite, I'm not getting rid of anything in this bunch. At least in this group of palettes, there's none that I don't like that much to get rid of. So as of right now, everything is staying. All right, so obviously somebody had to be at the bottom of the barrel. So palette number 11 is actually a quad. This is a Fiona Styles quad. I actually got rid of 2 other quads of hers this past December, and I only have like 3 left, and this is the one that I have kept and been using. This is the Electra one. This is a quad that is very cool toned, but still has color, deep enough saturation color that I do enjoy. Her formula is very forgiving, it's very buildable, but it still shows up on your eye. You don't need a lot, and the shadows in here are so packed in here that you will go, I mean, I try to pan one of these quads before one of the shadows. After 30 uses, it's still going strong. So these are going to last me a lifetime. This color combination is beautiful. Really do like it, to the point it wasn't my favorite out of all of them if I were to choose, because I am somebody who likes a bigger palette, not so much quads, but this is a beautiful quad if I were to ever want something simple and to the point. Number 10 goes to this one. This is the Jaclyn Hill and the Morphe. This is the Bling Boss one. This one, I was surprised because, you know, these have been hit or misses. This is a really nice one, and the color story that I came out with was beautiful. You guys, I got a lot of compliments on my color story when I did this one. Really, really pretty. I can see why so many people really liked this one over the other 3 that she had. Now, this one's at the bottom because the quality, obviously, there's a lot better in my collection. Some of the match a little bit drier. Some of these shimmers are a little bit drier, and I just could find other ones that I'd appreciate more, like, to be honest with you, and I'm trying not to bash them too much. There's a similarity between the mattes in here and that Adept palette that I had. The dryness, the thinness of them. The one in Adept is a little bit more forgiving as far as when you blend things out. They're a little bit more seamless than this one is, but there's a similarity to both of them. And this is the reason why this is down. The color story is beautiful. It's really, really pretty. I don't have much like this because you guys know I don't really buy a lot of mauve-y, pinky kind of things. So the ones that I do, I really do like. And this is number 10. I was very happy to finally get use out of that one. Number 9 goes to this one. That's Taupe palette. This is a beautiful taupey palette, but it's at the bottom because it's nothing spectacular as far as the color story goes, but I do love these color combos. If I were to ever need a taupey, cool tone palette, I don't have many that are neutrals, but this is one that I would really reach for. It's beautiful. Love the color story of it. These shimmers in here are really, really pretty. I give it to them. It's beautiful, but there are other ones that I tried this month that I like the color story a little bit more, but if I am in the mood to be just, you know, keeping it simple, nothing too bold on my eyes, this is one that I would reach for. Really, really pretty. I see why this is all hyped up. Sticking to ColourPop, we have number 8. Number 8 goes to Wine Only. Now this one is more red based. As you guys can see, this is the color story that we were going for. I wanted to reach for this one a little bit more this time of year. And it is gorgeous. Not gonna lie, it is gorgeous. I don't own many red palettes like this for a reason. It's hard for me to pull these off when I am at a cooler, like a normal skin tone state. If I have a tan, I think it looks more beautiful with me, because these turn a little bit more warmer tone, which makes my whole face look more warmer, more orangey. I don't know how to explain it, but certain colors just change a little bit on me. So I have to be careful which ones I use this time of year, but I do see myself reaching for this more in the summertime. Beautiful, beautiful color story. But I don't buy a lot of red-based shadows for this reason, and this is one of the few that I really do like. It's to the point, the packaging's a little annoying because if you don't close these right, like if there's a little bend already in there, see how it's not really closed all the way? So it pops open sometimes and then the shadows pop out. But other than that, I do like it. And I don't own many of these either because of that reason. Number 7, I like this one a lot more. This is the ColourPop Orchid Unite. This color story just, it's a little bit easier for me to pull off this time of year, and I really do like it. The colors in here are gorgeous. This reminds me of a more saturated in color. This color story reminds me of a more saturated, It's My Pleasure palette. It's a little bit deeper, it's a lot more sultry, and I love It's My Pleasure, and this one I love even more. It's just beautiful. I love a nice smoky eye, but if it's a colorful smoky eye, it gets me in the mood even more. That's why I like this one, because I can do smoky red eyes, I can do smoky purple eyes, but I just like this color story just a little bit more than the Why Not. It's beautiful still, both of them, but if I had to choose, I'd choose this one over the Why Not. Number 6 goes to Nabla's Wild Berry. This is beautiful. It's a 6-pan palette. You guys know I like these cutie ones. The formula of this one is a little bit different than the blue one and the platinum one that I tried last month. It's not as saturated, but it is still beautiful. I really do like it. These shades right here really stood out for me. These are just gorgeous. And I wore this in a look. I did a whole entire look. I used all the shades except for this shadow in that look. And I got quite a few DMs asking me what was on my eyes and what specific shades did I use out of this palette. Really, really pretty. This one doesn't pull too much burgundy, too much purple, because you're getting these little standout shades. Like this color is just so, so pretty. I like this one a lot. And this one has like a shift to it. See how you could see that shift? It's different, it's unique, and that's why this one is number 6, and I like this one more than these. These I would, because it's a little bit more like differences, it's not so monochromatic. I can take it different ways, but it's to the point. I really do like it. Like these Nabla cuties, I'm digging those. All right, you guys, now we are on the top 5. Number 5 goes to this Z palette. Now this Z palette was just curated by me. These are depotted singles from a collection, 2 collections that Lorac came out with years ago. I remember it was like these Dazzle Eyes. They were in black packaging. I depotted all of them and just put them in a Z palette. I also have the Balm in here. I may have, oh yeah, Coastal Scents are in here. So I have a variety of stuff in here. MAC is in here as well. And I just really like this palette. I do have this palette on my eyes today. I ended up putting this shadow in the crease. This is all over my lid, and then I put ColourPop Ritz all over my eyes. And then I used my Pan Those eyeshadows for my lower lash line. It's just beautiful. Beautiful. I do like it. There's nothing extraordinary about it. But Lorac eyeshadows just get me every time. They're just really, really good to work with. So easy to blend out. And I just like this. I really like to reach for something like this when I really don't want to think about it. But I have enough variation and it's not super warm. It's not super cool where I can mix and match shades in here. I know this is so silly, but for having these singles for years. I mean, I've had this for a really long time. That holiday collection maybe came out in 2015-ish, 2016-ish, around there. And I still can get such a great look out of it. Pigmented, quite a lot better than some new shadows that come out nowadays. So yeah, this one had to be number 5 just because it just gives me everything that I want. Color, but not too much. Warmth, but not too much cool. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Number 4 goes to another Nabla palette I pulled out this month. This is the Dreamy 2 palette. This is so unique. It's very sultry and warm. So I've noticed that it's giving me two different things. I like the warmth for the summer, but the sultriness for the winter time. But you're mixing cool and warm tones. It just works so well. And these shimmers are not what you expect when you put your finger on them. Some of them are better than others, I will give it to them, but this color story is so out there for me, so different from a lot of the palettes that I do own them. This is why I had to put it in number 4. The formula of the mattes are beautiful, and some of these shimmers I really do like more than others. These two are like more shimmer toppers. You're getting shimmer toppers, you're getting some that are like in your face. So this is why I had to put it number 4. It is corresponding to its packaging. I can see why they chose what they chose. It's a beautiful palette, very unique. I am curious to pull this out in the summer to try to use like this color. You guys know I like these terracotta orangey type of brownie shades. So beautiful. It is pulling at my heartstrings just to put this all over my eyes and be done. Yeah, number 4 goes to this one. Number 3 is going to the Huda Nude palette. I've been using this quite a bit, you guys, quite a bit. And you could see how much it has been used. This was actually in Pan Those Eyeshadows when I first started out, and I had this shade in there. As you guys can see, I did quite a bit of damage on that one. Did not hit pan on it. I've actually been using this creamy shade as a base for my eyes. I am wearing it today, and so far, it has not creased my eyes. Okay, as long as I set it, it works fine. So I'm actually trying to use that up before it completely dries up on my eyes. Not a fan of these glitters in here, but they are pretty. I'm not gonna lie, they are pretty. If I am into glitters that day, I am digging it. But these, like, she's really good at doing textured eyeshadows. I will give that to her 100%. Textured eyeshadows is Huda's, like, that's her bread and butter. And she does it so well. This shade down here, I could not stop touching this shade. It's just so, so pretty. This one also. And these mattes just go really nice. I can go a little bit more brownie warm tone or go more burgundy red or cool tone mauves. I just really like this palette. I know not many people did, but this is one of my favorites from her. It's just, it's there. And I'm not a mauve person, but it's there. Number 2 goes to this one. Again, this was something that was brand new in my collection. And oh my goodness, I really do like this one. This is a Norvina palette. Now, a lot of you guys are saying this color story, I've heard a lot. This color story isn't so unique, blah, blah, blah. I get it. It isn't unique, but the actual shimmers in here, they really do pack a punch. Let me tell you, they pack a punch and they make me look done up without having to put on too much eyeshadow or too many layers on my eyes. These really pack a punch with the exception of Celestial's more subtle. The rest, really on my lids. I mean, most people were like, wow, you have beautiful eyes. Like every time I use it, everyone's like, wow, your eyes look so pretty. And I may have just used like 2 mattes and then one of these all over my lid. And just because they pack such a punch to the look without being too much, it's so, so pretty. I actually do like this one. I know some people were on the fence with this one. I actually like it. And I think I would like this more in the summer, warmer months because it is more of a warmer tone with the exception of like this shade right here. It's cooler tone, but the rest, I feel like I can use this a lot in the summer. A lot. You're getting color in this palette, but not out there color. So I feel like I could wear this to work and not feel like I'm having such a colorful look when it doesn't call for it. I still wear color to work, but this one I feel like I can get away with more because it's subtle and I like it. I really do like it. I dig it. I dig this palette. Yes. Okay. I didn't think I would because I keep hearing negative things about this one, but I like it. I am one to love it. All right. The last and number 1 palette. Oh my gosh. I've used this actually for the last 2 months. I forgot to showcase it in January and I keep continuing to use it this month. It is the Beauty Bay Jade palette. This reminds me of my BH Naughty palette that I just could not put down. This is that one for me this time of my life right now. It's just, oh my goodness, so beautiful. It's huge. Not gonna lie, it's huge. But again, if I'm gonna end up investing in a palette this large, I really have to love it. And when I saw this, I'm just like, yes, give it to me. I can't stop wearing it. You guys cannot stop wearing it. In my video last week, I think it was Friday's video where I did my favorites, everyone kept asking me what was on my lids that I put all over the cream shadow. It was actually this shade right here that I put all over my crease. This is a palette that whenever another palette disappoints me, lack in pigmentation, lack in the shimmer, lack in the dimension that I want, this is where I reach for to put toppers on top of it. It's just so pretty. I love that I'm getting warm tones, some cool bright shades down here, like these pinkies and purple pastels are in here. Then I'm getting a ton of neutrals. This corner is just me. I love this. Like these 3 shades, if I could wear these 3 shades over and over and over, I would. But you're getting these blues and this black down here, wow. The black is punchful. It is black. It is not a black and gray. It is not a black and brown. I mean, it is black. These shades over here, like you're getting so much. Like I could just have this on my desk and just play around with this for weeks on end and still would not get me to every look I could possibly do. It's just so beautiful. I cannot wait to wear these in the summer. This neon green right here, oh, the chartreuse green, oh, love that one. This pastel purple and this one right here, even this shade right here that is in this Cutie palette, it's very similar to that shade right there. You can deepen this out any which way. You can just go for a natural look, cool tone look. I remember reaching for this one, this shade right here, and it was more warm tone. I reached for this one, is a little bit more neutral. You're getting some mattes. I mean, what could you possibly want that this palette isn't giving you? It's just everything. Yes, I love this. This, I feel like, will be my palette of the year, just like that Naughty palette. It was that palette of that year where it's just like I kept reaching for it every which way. I feel like this one is going to be that for me this year. I just don't want to put it away. I don't. And it's hard for me to not reach for it every time I want to make a look, because it's just, this is the palette that just helps me out. When something else is so lackluster, it's not giving me what I want, that oomph, I just come in here and it always ends up saving the day for me. I love this palette. I would not be surprised, you guys, if this palette ends up being in my 2023 favorites. Really, because I love it that much. I just do. This is why I'm saying, like, it's not that expensive and I can get such a great look and they last on my eyes. They do, which is shocking because a lot of inexpensive palettes and formulas don't really last. They crease on me, they fade away. And this is a beauty-based formula is really good. I know you get hits and misses in here, but overall, it is a very, very good palette. I do. And for me, saying a large palette is great. 42 shades is a lot, but it's worth it for me. I'm so happy I bought that palette. All right, guys, these are all of my palettes for this month, 11 of them. I will link them down below. Let me know what your favorite palette was for this month. I'm betting it's some sort of burgundy shade. I did pull other ones out that I played around with, it, like my Love palette from Natasha Denona, the Mini Crush, the Mini Love. I did pull out a few things here and there, but they weren't repeats. These were repeats. These were ones that I kept going for back and using them in multiple looks, multiple days, because I was wanting more from them, wanting more and more and more from them. So I am so happy shopping my stash. You guys, this past month, you'll see in my makeup rehab how my shopping changed because of a certain thing, but I'm just happy. I haven't had a palette in the last 2 months really catch my attention. I haven't bought one palette really besides that Adept one. And that wasn't really me buying. It was a mystery box I was buying. So I haven't really had any palettes that are like grabbing my attention for me to get. So I'm just happy shopping my stash, using what I have, going back to the palettes that I haven't touched and play around with them. Because for me, it's trying brand new palettes that I didn't even spend a dime on. So thank you guys so much for watching. More videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.